At the reception desk, a tall, broad-shouldered man in a dark, perfectly tailored suit stood silently while staff around him whispered. He didn't say a word, and every time he tried, his heavy accent made the receptionists and the managers frown in confusion. Some giggled behind their hands, others turned to their computer screens, pretending to be busy. No one realized who he was. No one cared to truly listen. And yet, little did they know this quiet, misunderstood man was Sheikh Omar al-Rashid, a billionaire whose very signature could buy out the hotel they worked in. But he wasn't here to show power. He was here searching for something deeper, something money had never given him. Viewers, before we dive into his story, ask yourself, how often do we judge someone just because they don't sound like us, look like us, or speak as we do? Stay with me till the end, because what happens here will leave your heart stirred. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you believe kindness can change the world. The reception area grew tense. Guests lined up behind Sheikh Omar, and the staff grew impatient. A manager muttered under his breath, "If he can't explain himself, how do we know what he wants? Just another foreign guest, probably lost." The Sheikh's eyes softened, almost saddened. He had lived a life of opulence, surrounded by people who bowed and obeyed, but here, just for a moment, he was invisible, reduced to a man struggling to be heard. And then, quietly, a new figure entered the scene. A woman in plain clothes carrying a mop and a bucket. She was the cleaner, Amira. Her back was bent from years of hard work, her hands rough from scrubbing, yet her spirit carried a gentleness no title or riches could buy. She paused when she noticed the man at the counter. She saw the frustration in his eyes, the discomfort in his silence. Instead of turning away, she smiled. "Would you like some tea, sir?" she asked softly in Arabic. For the first time that day, Sheikh Omar's eyes lit up. He heard his mother tongue, familiar and warm, spoken by someone who looked at him not with judgment, but with respect. His lips trembled slightly before a small smile escaped him. You speak Arabic?" he whispered. Amira nodded. "Yes, my parents were from Egypt. I learned at home. Please come sit down, you look tired." The staff at the reception desk exchanged confused glances. Who was this cleaner to step in when the trained professionals had failed? But Omar followed her without hesitation, sitting at a small staff table near the corner. Amira poured him tea, her hands careful, her movements graceful. As they sipped, Omar opened up. In halting English, with Amira gently helping to translate, he explained that he had come not as a guest, but as an investor. He wanted to see the hotel with his own eyes before committing to a deal that would change everyone's future. The room went silent. The receptionists turned pale, realizing they had brushed off a man whose wealth and influence far outweighed their own. But Omar wasn't angry. Instead, he looked at Amira. "You were the only one who saw me as a man, not as a burden. Do you know how rare that is?" Amira lowered her gaze, embarrassed. I know what it feels like to not be understood. Sometimes people forget that kindness is the only language everyone understands." From that day, everything shifted. The hotel's management scrambled to make up for their mistake, but Omar's attention stayed on Amira. He asked about her life, her struggles, her dreams. She confessed she worked 2 jobs to support her children after her husband abandoned them. Every night, she returned home exhausted, but she never let her children see her weakness. Omar's heart softened more than it ever had in years of wealth and power. He thought of his own late mother, who had once been a poor woman selling bread in the streets before he built his empire. He saw in Amira not just a cleaner, but a soul with dignity, with resilience, with light. The next morning, the entire staff was summoned. In front of everyone, Omar announced his investment in the hotel, but with one condition. From this day forward, he declared, his accent heavy but his words strong, every worker, no matter their position, will be treated with the same respect as a guest. Titles mean nothing without humanity. And as for Amira, he turned to her, his eyes kind. She will no longer clean floors. She will manage hospitality, because she understands it better than anyone here. Gasps filled the room. Amira stood frozen, tears streaming down her face. She had never dreamed that anyone would see her worth, much less a billionaire sheikh. The receptionists bowed their heads in shame, realizing the lesson. Guests who witnessed the scene applauded, and Omar, though powerful beyond measure, had found something money couldn't buy, an authentic human connection. Weeks later, the hotel blossomed under Amira's guidance. Staff worked with renewed energy, kindness spread like wildfire, and guests left with stories of warmth, not just luxury. Omar visited often, no longer the silent man at the desk, but a friend welcomed with laughter and tea. And as the video ends, remember this: sometimes the richest person in the room isn't the one with money. It's the one with kindness. If you believe in treating people with respect, no matter who they are, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that touch the heart. Together, let's remind the world that compassion is the true language we all share.